Okay, we're back for session number 3, stock options and how to make money trading stock options at our online financial summit 2018 part 1. And I'm bringing my partner back, Mr. Eric Johnson, who's the CEO and founder of Cubicle Investing, the author of Make Money from Your Cubicle, and he is a stock options and cryptocurrency trader, a coach, a trainer, and an entrepreneur. And so with that said, Eric, I want to welcome you to the stage. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Jared. Yeah, thanks a lot. And greetings to the folks out there who are watching this presentation. Definitely thank you guys for taking time out of your busy schedule to view this presentation. Hopefully you guys will learn some good information about stock option trading.
All right.
Right, so starting out with the disclosure, they call it the CYA, cover your assets. All trading involves risk. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. I make no promises, guarantees, or warranties suggesting that any trading or training will result in a profit or will not result in a loss. All examples and any mention of stocks are for educational purposes only. All right, some background information about myself. Again, I have, as I mentioned before this morning, I have a BS degree in computer science. Shortly thereafter, receiving my BS degree in computer science, I became an operations research analyst / computer engineer. And shortly thereafter, I obtained my MBA with a concentration in information technology. Roughly around 2014, I started to invest in real estate here in Baltimore, Maryland. I subscribed to a financial newsletter, and I learned about option trading. Now, a quick backstory about that. So I'm in my cubicle one day, working on a project, and I decided to take a break and go through my email, as a lot of folks do. I got this email, and the subject heading read something along the lines of a secret that Wall Street has been hiding from Main Street. It was something along the lines, So the heading intrigued me, so I decided to, obviously read through the email, and it turns out that the email was a piece of copyright, and a piece of copyright basically is a persuasive letter that's designed to get the reader to purchase a product or service. So I'm reading through this long piece of copyright, and I'm reading all these testimonials of how folks are making thousands of dollars a month, using this strategy of selling put options. And I never heard of put options, so I'm like, well, what is this put option all about? So long story short, at the end of this long piece of copyright, there was an opportunity to subscribe, and because the piece of copyright was so intriguing and so persuasive, I decided to subscribe. It was close to $4,000, and that first year, that entire year after, so it took me about 2 or 3 months to get started. So basically, what they did was they created a bunch of videos that described how to trade options, and so after viewing the videos probably 4 or 5 times, opened a brokerage account, and I pretty much just started trading based on their recommendations. Now, the first year of just following these folks' recommendations, I never lost any money. I know that sounds incredible, but I did not make a lot of money also, But nevertheless, selling options intrigued me to the point where I wanted to continue my education and also find a strategy that did not require the amount of capital that selling put options required. So I actually took a professional option traders class. It costs close to $20,000, but I was really intrigued about about the amount of money that I made initially, and I knew that it worked. But I just wanted to find other strategies of options trading that did not require a lot of capital. And so from taking this professional options traders class, I came across a strategy called credit spreads. So credit spreads basically do not require the same amount of capital that this initial strategy required. So I said, I thought to myself, I could potentially teach other people this strategy because it's a great way of making money relatively safely from the stock market, and it does not require a lot of capital. So that's when I developed the idea of cubicle investing because, basically I was doing this stuff from my cubicle, trading options also and investing in real estate, all from my cubicle. So that's where I developed the idea of cubicle investing. It really has become a metaphor because, the cubicle basically it represents, wherever you are. If you're home, if you're in the library, as long as you have access to a laptop or a computer and you have internet access, you can trade options.
Now, let me ask you this, Eric, because some people may be looking at this and they may say, oh, wait a minute, he's got a BS degree in computer science, he's became an operations research analyst, he's got an MBA degree with a concentration in IT, certainly all that helped and you learning the stock market and trading stock options because maybe I can't do this because I don't have all this stuff. What's your response to that?
Yeah, and most people initially think that, but again, as I mentioned before, prior to that piece of copyright that I see in my email, I didn't know anything about options. But once I was trained, it pretty much requires that you. So once you know the rules, and once you know what to look for, it's basically just clicking buttons. So you don't have to have any special math skills. You don't have to know how to do calculus. It doesn't require anything that's significant. It's just basically just knowing what to look for. And with option trading, at least the way we teach it at Cubicle Investing, we don't look at a lot of charts. It's not. We're not chartologists. It's basically looking at one of the Greeks, which we go into. I won't go into here, but yes, looking at one of the Greeks and just deciding. Which Greek we want to trade an option on.
Okay. All right. But the point is you don't have to have all this.
Right, exactly. No,
okay.
Not at all.
All right.
Not at all. So why options? So one of my online mentors, one of the co-founders of this letter called the Palm Beach letter, stated that the amazing thing about this strategy, selling cash secured put options, is that you can use it forever. So as long as you have a moderately funded trading account, this strategy has the potential to supply you with 5- and 6-figure income year in and year out to the day you die. And that's absolutely true. So he's talking about the initial strategy that I was taught, selling cash secured put options. But again, as I mentioned before, it requires quite a bit of capital in order for you to make decent money. Now, conversely, looking at credit spreads, which is what I learned in the professional options trading class, that's not the case. So you can start, like I said, with a small amount of money, roughly between $2,000 to $3,000. So next slide, So one day I'm in the library studying. It's around noon, 12:30, and I decided to break out my laptop and to see if there were any trades that I could put on. So I found a trade and I posted this on Facebook. So I said, while studying in the library, I decided to break out the laptop and log onto my brokerage account. I made a quick $640 just by clicking a few buttons. The power of knowing how to sell stock options. The online class is coming soon. Stay tuned. So this was prior to me developing the online Cubicle Investing class teaching stock option trading. So I just wanted to show folks that, hey, once you understand how to sell stock options, you can be anywhere as long as you have access to the internet. You can make money relatively safely. So this is another post I put up on Facebook, and I actually put on this trade from my mobile phone. So you can download the app of the platform that we use to trade, and you can trade on your mobile phone. So I said, making money selling stock options on my phone. Sold a put option on Apple for $250. Gotta love it. I have a free ebook on my website, www.cubicleinvesting.com. If you're interested in becoming familiar with this make money anywhere you have an internet connection skill set, phase 2 of my website is coming soon. Stay tuned. So again, showing folks that, hey, you're not relegated to just your laptop or your desktop. You can use this on your mobile phone. So it's all about freedom. And the last post that I put up, well, the last post that I'll speak about here that I posted on Facebook was another trade that I put on. I said, ladies, you love those overpriced Coach bags. Well, what if you could actually use the publicly traded company Coach, Inc. to fund your purchase of a Coach bag? Well, knowing how to trade stock options can enable you to do just that. Here is a trade where I sold 10 option contracts on Coach, and I made $425 just clicking a few buttons. And I also addressed it to fellas. I said, fellas, this can be done on Nike, Under Armour, and any other things that you like to buy as well. If you are remotely interested in how this is done, I've written an ebook that you can download for free at my website, cubicleinvesting.com. Check it out and learn how to invest. So the ebook itself gives you, it's a free ebook, and basically it gives you an introduction to the world of stock option trading. So what are options? So options are basically contracts sold by one party to another that gives the buyer the right, but not the obligation to buy if it's a call option or sell if it's a put option, stock at an agreed upon price within a certain period of time. So basically a call option, as I mentioned before, gives the owner the right but not the obligation to buy shares of stock at a specific price, which is called the strike price, by the expiration date. So the call option essentially gives you the right but not the obligation to take something away. So if you go to the next slide, JR, so to look at a real-world analogy, let's say, for example, let's say you paid $10 for a $90 Nike coupon that gave you the option or they gave you the right but not the obligation to purchase a pair of Nikes that are currently selling for $130 in the market for $90. But you only have this right until February the 1st, 2018. So in the world of options, the $10 that you paid for the $90 Nike coupon is considered the premium. The expiration date, February the 1st, 2018, that's the expiration date also in the option world. And then the $90 that you pay for, the $90, so the $90 face value of the coupon is the actual strike price in the option world. So again, a call option gives you the right to take something away. Now, put option, if you go back to the slide, JR, yeah. So a put option essentially gives the owner the right, but not the obligation, to sell shares of stock at a specific price, known as the strike price, by the expiration. So if you go forward to JR, so to look at a real-world analogy of a put option, it's analogous to buying car insurance. So let's say you paid a $600 premium to a car insurance company for the right to you gave the car insurance a $600 premium, and that gives you the right to sell your car to the car insurance company for $10,000 within a 6-month time period, right? So the premium that you pay the car insurance company, $600, that would be the premium that you would pay in the world of options. The 6-month premium that the car insurance company is obligated to actually pay you $10,000 for your car in case it's wrecked. That's considered the strike price, and then the expiration date is the strike price in the option world also. I'm sorry, it's the expiration date in the option world.
So Eric, let me ask you. So basically, I think it's a great example because people understand. It's like, if you're driving, you're paying monthly. You're paying monthly insurance, and what people may not think about is they may be thinking like, okay, well, if I get in an accident, my insurance will cover the car. But what if the car is totaled? And we just went through this scenario, literally, and had a family member who was in an accident, the car was totaled, and we, pay X amount of dollars for insurance every month. But what that X amount of dollars is really buying us, if that car is totaled, they'll give us a payout, like, they'll let you know based on the car and everything. But in this example, a person's paying $600. car is totaled, they get 8,000, right?
Right.
Okay.
Well, actually, no. So the in this particular example, the car insurance company would actually pay out $10,000, in spite of the fact that after the wreck, the car is only worth $8,000.
Oh, right. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's
so
even
that's
better.
what a put option. Yeah. So a put option is like, basically it's like buying insurance.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, a put option gives you the right to give something away within a certain period of time.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so 5 myths about trading options. Number 1, option trading requires years of experience. That's definitely not true. When I first learned about options, it took me roughly 2 to 3 months to really get up to speed and become familiar and become comfortable with trading options. So you definitely don't need years of experience. Number 2, option trading is riskier than stocks. All investing is risky, but it's definitely not riskier than stocks. As a matter of fact, with option trading and with the way we teach at Cubicle Investing, the credit spreads are actually defined risk strategies. In other words, you know how much you could potentially lose even before you put on the trade. So with options, it's definitely not riskier than stocks. Number 3, it's difficult to profit from options. That's also false. Again, the way we trade or the way we teach selling credit spreads is probably the easiest way of making money with options, and also does not require a lot of capital. Number 4, you need a lot of money to trade options. Again, you can start with as low as $2,000 to open up a brokerage account and start trading. And number 5, you need a special type of account to trade options. This is sort of true because with the brokerage accounts with the online brokerages that I've dealt with, they have different levels of accounts that they actually provide to their customers, and so when you're trading options, you have to have a certain type of account to put on credit spreads. And we show you how to the questions to answer when you're applying for the brokerage account, so that you can actually get one of those particular accounts so that you can trade options. All right, so making money trading options. So basically, with option selling, you can pretty much make money if the option goes up, goes down, or moves sideways. I should say if the underlying asset, which can be a stock, an index, or an exchange traded fund, so ETF. So all 3 of those instruments can be used to trade options on. And again, you can make money if those assets go up, go down, or move sideways. So some of the things that may affect the value of an option, that may cause the value of an option to increase or decrease. So economic or political shocks. So for example, the election of Donald Trump definitely was a political shock, and so as a result, that definitely affects the market as a whole, and that can affect the value of your option contract. News can definitely affect the option or the value of an option contract. So, for example, if there's some rumor that the U.S. may go to war with North Korea, that's going to affect the market as a whole. And if you're already into the option trade, that will definitely affect negatively or positively the value of your option contract. An earnings report. So all stocks report earnings 4 times a year, every quarter. And so because options act unpredictably around a earnings report, we don't trade. We teach that it's not prudent to trade within 2 weeks of an earnings report or 2 weeks after an earnings report, because the options just act so unpredictably in close proximity to an earnings report. Inflation can also affect the value of an option, and also interest rates. So an option contract essentially represents 100 shares of the underlying, right? So for example, if you purchase 7 Apple call option contracts, then basically what you're doing is you're actually controlling 700 shares of Apple. So you're not actually buying the stock itself, but you are controlling 700 shares of the stock. And so it's really a way, so options are a leveraged instrument. It doesn't require the same amount of capital to buy an option contract as it does to buy the actual stock itself. So it's a way to to trade without actually buying the stock, but you can still make money because of the leverage factor. So again, why options? As Warren Buffett once said, never depend on single income. Make investments to create a second source. So knowing how to trade options is a great way to generate income relatively safely from the stock market without laboring for it. So it's a great way to add to whatever income that you may currently have. And again, as I mentioned earlier, it's something that once you learn and you can use for the rest of your life. Again, single source of income, you stop working, you don't make any money. So basically, W-2 income is basically, it's based on your personal effort. So if you don't work, you don't get paid. But so once you learn, how to sell options, and again, it's not difficult at all. It does not require a degree in computer science or math. It's just understanding the rules and knowing how to use the platform to put on trades. So the alternatives are, one, you could park your money in the bank. Right now, I checked, this was on December, this slide was developed on December 31st. Bank of America was paying out a whopping 0.06% annually. So putting a $10,000 investment into Bank of America, a savings account, after 1 year, that's basically $6. Now I'm not saying that you should not have any money in the bank, but having any significant amount of money in the bank to me is a bad investment. So 0.06%. I mean, what can you do with $6? I think the average movie these days costs between $11 and $12. So it's definitely not a good place to park a significant amount of money. I looked at Wells Fargo. They're currently paying 0.05% for a 1-year CD and 0.03% for their business market account. Again, these guys are pretty much punishing those who are financially prudent, because those folks who actually save money, because of inflation, you're actually losing money when you put your money in the bank.
And isn't it, they're taking your money and using your money to invest, right? And then paying you, pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Again, so this is the last slide on these financial institutions. So Citibank, again, the highest interest rate right now that they're paying is, again, 0.06%. So again, as JR just mentioned, so while the banks are paying you on average a whopping 0.06% annually, they take your money and lend it out and collect anywhere between 4% to 10% or higher, depending on the borrower's creditworthiness. So these banks, they are punishing their customers by paying them less than 1% interest. However, they're lending their customers' money out at and making between 4 to 10%. Which is great for them, but it's horrible for a depositor. So going back to the initial post that I spoke about earlier, that I put up on Facebook. So this trade was implemented on July the 14th, 2017, and the expiration date on this particular trade was August the 18th, 2017. So roughly 35 days. Sometimes the trades are a lot shorter, 7 days to 14 days. But the one thing I want you to notice is that I don't know if you can see it in the black square there, but the potential maximum loss on this trade was $355. However, the credit I received was $640. So once you sell a credit spread, you immediately receive the credit. Your account is immediately credited with the credit that you receive for putting on the trade. So if you think about it, even if I lost on this trade, I'm still walking away in the green. So that was an 80% return on my investment for 35 days. So basically I'm risking 1 to make approximately 2. So this is the power of knowing how to sell options. You can make between on average, I would say between 20 and 30% return on your investment. So again, one of the quotes from my online mentor about selling put options is, he said, one of the most important secrets I've ever learned about investing was that, contrary to popular belief, taking more risk is a fool's game. The true way to build wealth is to invest like a casino operator, betting against the people who are taking the big risks. And so when you understand options, you recognize the fact that selling options is a lot less riskier than buying options. When you sell options, it puts you in the position of being a casino operator. However, when you buy options, it puts you in the position of being a casino patron, someone who actually is gambling, because you have to be right about the direction of the trade when you buy an option. When you're selling options, time is on your side. You're just basically, so the person who buys the option from you is taking the risk. So this is why we teach at Cubicle Investing, selling options versus buying. So quickly, in summary, we know what an option is. We know what a call and put options are. We learned about the 5 myths about options trading. We also saw the events that could potentially affect the price of an option contract, what an option contract represents, that is 100 shares of the underlying asset, and also the potential returns that one can receive from knowing how to trade options.
Eric, I wanted to share this too. Many people have heard my story, and I used to be in pharmaceutical sales with the biggest pharmaceutical company in the world at the time. And as part of our benefits package, they gave us stock options.
Okay.
This was years ago, so I didn't know what I know about the stock market now. But they just gave us these options, and I had one set of options that I had the right to buy. Now, this is the thing. With this, I had to be with the company at least 10 years.
Okay.
But when I had the right to exercise actually buying those options, the price of the stock had gone up to the point that I would cashed out at $55,000. And so a lot of companies, sometimes, I don't know if they still do it now, because this was years ago, and I've been out of corporate so long, I don't know what they're offering as benefits and stuff like that. But just a point of really kind of knowing and understanding how, what an option is and how it works and how powerful it can be. But that's a story that I never forgot.
Yeah. It's definitely a great strategy to have in your arsenal. I've taught quite a few folks how to trade options, and they were very surprised at how easy it was.
Mm-hmm.
So just imagine.
Why does it look so complicated? Because that's the thing we get, with the stock market in general. It just looks so complicated.
Well, it depends on the trading platform that you use. Some folks are intimidated by, like you mentioned earlier, during your flipping stocks presentation, all the blinking lights, But the thing is, you don't have to know you don't have to know the function of every facet of a platform in order to trade successfully.
Mm-hmm.
And so some folks, they use charts. Some folks look at, various chart indicators to tell them whether or not they should buy or sell.
Mm-hmm.
Some folks look at what they call, time and sales. So it's different strategies that people use. We don't look at, we do look at charts, but we don't trade off of charts. We use, something called the delta, which is a Greek that affects the option contract itself.
Mm-hmm.
So we pretty much just look at that, and that's something that's calculated by every trading platform. And so, again, once the rules and how to trade, it's just a matter of just putting on the trade and setting it and forgetting it.
And I think part of what you're saying is, too, if you think about this, is like, again, using the car analogy and looking at all the blinking lights on your dashboard. But when you drive your car, chances are you're not using every button in your car that's available to you on the dashboard. And so some of these trading platforms, and for those who may not know what a platform is, that's just a fancy word for software. So these trading software, they can do incredible things, but, we don't need them to, do all these things in many instances what we're doing. But nonetheless, it's a lot of blinking lights and stuff like that. And it's kind of fun, when you know this stuff. And I've been out sitting at like Starbucks, and people, they're walking by looking at what you have on your computer screen, and they're coming and they're looking like, good gracious, what is all that? And I just kind of laugh inside, like, if they only really knew.
Yeah.
That, I mean, and they'll go right out to their car, turn their car on, and all these blinking lights come on. Mm-hmm. So it's all in how you think. It's a mindset. It definitely is a mindset. So.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. So, and I wanted to show this particular side because I've met some folks who are beginners, trading options, and one of the things I found is that a lot of these guys, they burn through a lot of money because they trade without a plan. They don't have a plan. Oftentimes, if they do have a plan, they don't stick to it. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that we teach is you have to trade, or you have to learn how to trade without emotion, and just follow your plan, and stick to it. Mm-hmm. Because it's all about the law of large numbers. So the more you trade, and the more successful you will be, based upon the way we teach. Again, we're looking at high probability trades, so roughly between 80 to 90% probability of the trade being successful is what we look at. So you figure if you look at the concept of flipping a coin, and if the coin has an 80% probability of landing on heads and a 20% probability of landing on tails, the more you flip that coin, the more it's going to land on heads. So 80% of the time, the coin is going to land on heads. Mm-hmm. So however, you can flip that coin twice, and it can land on tails both times, in spite of the fact that heads has an 80% probability. But it's all about the more you trade, the higher the probability you will experience, because you're trading high probability trades. Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Bottom line is we talk about this a lot in flipping stocks, is you're really doing everything you can to stack the odds in your favor, starting off with the right type of stock, starting off with the right type of, we look at patterns, but in your example, looking at the right type of indicators that you use, following a plan, not being greedy, same concepts. We're looking for the low-hanging fruit that if we can just get on our tippy toes, there's a high probability we can grab the fruit, versus we got to, be able to jump, 10 feet high to get stuff, and then fall and break our legs.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and one of the things that a lot of guys fall into is greed. Once you learn to sell options, you'll see the potential of the amount of money that you could that you can actually make. Mm-hmm. So some folks, they become very greedy, and they become they start to trade outside of their trading plan, and oftentimes they'll start losing money. And when you start losing money, oftentimes it affects you, emotionally. So you're trying to, gain those losses back, and before you know it, you blow up your entire account. Also, folks trade too often. One thing I found with trading options is that you have to have patience. So oftentimes I'll trade maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And that's really enough. So you don't have to trade every day or multiple times a day. Mm-hmm. A lot of folks, they trade without the proper education, training, or coaching. As I mentioned before, when I first started, my first year, I had a mentor. I had basically these guys sending me recommendations, and these folks telling me exactly why they was recommending the trades. And anytime I had any questions, they were there to answer those questions. So it definitely helps to have somebody there who has much more experience than you to kind of guide you along and help you be successful.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, just folks just trade too big. We recommend that you don't trade. That no one trade should risk more than 5% of the total value of your account.
Mm-hmm.
So again, keeping the trade small and trading often, but not trading too frequently during the week.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, for those who are interested in learning about selling stock options, we are currently offering a 1-year tuition, which is less than one semester at a junior college. $697. Basically you get the training videos, which introduces the concepts of trading options, and also it teaches you how to use the platform. So I'm actually demonstrating in the videos of how to actually put on a credit spread. And I have a couple of videos of showing various strategies you can use to sell put options and also credit spreads. You also get a copy of the slides that pertain to the training videos that you are able to view once you become a member. There's also an options knowledge review sheet, so that you can so that it gives you the opportunity to reinforce what you have learned in the training videos. We show you how to we give you instructions on how to open an account, and to show you how to get the certain type of account that allows you to trade stock options. Instructions on how to download the trading platform, and also an options dictionary. We also have a trade calculator that we developed so you can see your annualized return on each of your trades. Also a trade log that we developed so you can keep track of your trades. And then I'll provide monthly training calls. So any questions you guys may have, I'm basically there to hold your hand, and also to give you further training that goes beyond the training videos of some other techniques that I use to sell options. And the bonus is, you'll get access to my cryptocurrency information. So, and as you heard, if you were on this, if you view the presentations from earlier, I talked about cryptocurrency being the hottest investment opportunity right now, and so just being able to have access to that information will definitely put you at the forefront of most people in that cryptocurrency space. So the website is www.cubicleinvesting.com. And if you guys got any more, you need further information, there's my email there, info@cubicleinvesting.com. Send us an email, and we'll answer any questions you may have.
Okay, so basically you got this membership here, 1-year tuition, only $697. It includes, and it's going to include the cryptocurrency course and access to the member board. That's a heck of a package, man.
Yeah, it is.
Is that a typo, or you meant to put that on there?
No, no, that's legit. Yeah, that's legit. So
yeah, one of the things that I think people, when they look at things, they really have to understand is like, what is the value behind what's being offered, and then who's offering it, the authenticity of it, the skill behind it. And I know you said earlier, which blew me out of my seat when I first met you. Well, it really didn't, because I understand people don't understand how much we paid to learn all this stuff. I mean, tens upon tens upon tens of thousands of dollars for us to learn. And I know when I was going through the learning process with the stock market, they didn't have the technology that they have available now. So, it was longer, probably harder to learn, definitely more expensive. So folks, are getting things, you paid $20,000 for your second part of your educational training after paying $3,000. So you're talking about 23, probably, and there's probably some other expenses in there that you may have forgotten about or whatever. But you're talking about $23,000 to $25,000. Of course, you took that, and now you have the knowledge base, and you're offering it to somebody for $697, and including the cryptocurrency course.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the things I learned early on is never just look at the upfront cost of anything. Wealthy people and people who are financially free and who are making money, they look at the upfront cost, don't get me wrong, but they look at the back-end opportunity. So I know when I was buying my courses, and Eric, I'm sure you're the same way, it's like, if I can learn this knowledge, all right, $697 is nothing compared to what on the backside I have the potential to make. And this knowledge is something that somebody can't take from me. So, when you go throughout the course of a year, and these are things that I think about. I'll just share a quick story where I went into a store and I was going to buy some tennis shoes. And, I was coaching basketball, and the kids would come in with $200 and $300 and $400 tennis shoes, and I'm wearing a pair of $69 tennis shoes that I had from years ago.
Yeah.
And I just can't justify spending no $200 and $300 on them, and I'm the coach, So finally it got to the point where I'm like, okay, I need a new pair of tennis shoes. So I go in the store, and I forget what store it was, like Foot Locker or something like that, and they had a sale, and these shoes were on sale for like $129. And they were sweet and they looked nice. And I was like, okay, let me try them on. But really, I was hoping they didn't have my size, because I'm like, I don't want to pay no $120. I could afford whatever pair I wanted. I don't want to pay no $120. So they didn't have my size. So then I go to this other store that they recommended, and I go in there. They had this sweet pair of basketball shoes. They were on sale for $79, right?
Uh-huh.
So, Eric, I put the shoes on, and I sat on the little bench for 15 minutes. Like, do I really want to get these? Then I started thinking, how many shares of stock could I get with this? What could I do with this? And so, my mind started going down that route. So I did get the shoes.
Uh-huh.
And then 2 days later, I don't even like the shoes now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, everything is relative when you're looking at doing things to change your life. And we're at the beginning of 2018. Everybody, we got overwhelmed with people who registered for this financial summit. A lot of people emailing us, I missed the session, I couldn't get in, and all this. And there's a lot of people out who want to change their life, who want to, increase or improve their financial situation or do whatever. And these are tools that help them do it. But at the end of the day, we can't just give this stuff away. We're not even including the amount of time that we spent, after we paid the money to learn it.
Yeah.
So you're getting some incredible deals today on the various packages and products and services that we're offering. So I highly encourage people to take advantage of them. Especially, I didn't even know. I just happened to read it. I'm like, hey, you throwing in the cryptocurrency? Hey, that's a deal right there.
Yeah, that's nice.
You could really charge $697 just for that.
Yeah.
If you want it,
Yeah, absolutely.
and people know what the price of that was earlier. So let's see if you want to open it up for some questions. We got a couple minutes here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, I got to go back here. Okay. Let me stop the recording.